Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Deleted, Recovered, Throwaway, Mom SM. Me, 24 female with my stepmom, 44 female, of 14 years. Out of nowhere, she says she won't help plan my wedding because she doesn't want to deal with my mom, 45 female. My mom and stepmom are very, very different people. My mom is one of those people who wear their emotions on their sleeves. She cries and laughs a lot. If she's angry, you know it. She is very expressive. She also had a really hard life. She had me when she was 19 and my biological dad abandoned her. She met my dad and they were together for 10 years and she had my sister with him. Because she had babies so young, she had to raise us and didn't get a chance to go to college. She met my stepdad right after she left my dad and they have been together ever since. Because she isn't educated, she's never been able to get a good job and works funny hours at a thrift store. So she has a funny schedule and never really has money. She'd give me money for the wedding, but she hardly has enough for her own bills. My stepdad is her soulmate, but he needs lots of attention and it has always been a conflict for her. She would cry a lot because she wanted to spend more time with us as kids, but couldn't because stepdad only had certain times off and she needed to make sure that he had the attention he needed too. I mean, she didn't even have the time to cook us dinner at night. She'd take us out to eat instead, so there is no way she would have had the extra time to do some of the stuff my stepmom did. I know she tried really hard at being a mom and did her best, but life was just harder for her than it was for my stepmom. My stepmom came into my life when I was 10 and we have always gotten along well. She is basically the opposite of my mom. I don't think I have ever seen her cry more than 1 or 2 tears. She has never raised her voice and yelled at us. Growing up, she was always the one that we went to when we needed things done. She is the one who would sign us up for all the things we wanted to do. Help with our homework, throw our birthday parties, and call the doctors. She went to college before my stepbrother was born and so was given a good job as a project manager and always had money. My dad started his own business too when he married my stepmom, so they had way more money than my mom. They also owned their own house and so didn't have to pay rent as my mom did, but the courts didn't give my mom any child support at all to help. Anyway, my stepmom did more of the traditional mom stuff, like cooking dinner and making Halloween costumes, but she was always a little cold. She rarely said, "I love you." My real mom was the emotional support. But life was hard for her, so she couldn't do the traditional mom stuff the same as my stepmom, even though she wanted to. I love both my mom and stepmom, and I'm happy that they are both in my life. They both helped me to grow up in their own ways. Anyway, my significant other and I are getting married in less than 7 months and I am planning my wedding. A couple of times I sent my stepmom some things asking for help. Each time she shrugged it off saying, "You should ask your mom." The last time I texted her to ask what she thought the best flower shop in the town where we are going to get married is and if she thinks that lilies would be a good idea in the bridal bouquet. She never responded, which is really unlike her. So I stopped by her house on my way home from work and asked her again. This time, she told me that I should plan my wedding with my mom. I pressed her on why she wouldn't help and she said that she had promised herself a long time ago that once us kids were out of the house, she would never have to deal with my mom again. And that she will be happy to financially contribute to my wedding, but would rather not get in any situation where she's going to have to deal with my mother. I never knew she even didn't like my mom. She never said anything growing up. If anything, she always was supportive of my relationship with my mom. When I had problems with her as a teen, she would always tell me that, "Your mother loves you," or would say, "I don't know your mom. I can't tell you why she does what she does, but I know she loves you." I asked her why she doesn't like my mom, but she wouldn't answer. She said that her relationship with my mother should in no way affect my relationship with my mom, and there is no need to spread past drama, but that she has set a boundary and hopes I can respect that. I was so confused, I asked my mom about it, and see if she could tell me why my stepmom might have said that. My mom got so upset and started crying and getting angry. She was saying that my stepmom is trying to ruin my wedding because she has always tried to control our lives just because she wanted power. She said there was a reason that stepmom had thrown our birthday parties even though she had wanted to. I asked my mom to tell me what she was talking about, but she said it wasn't my concern. She then tried looking up my stepmom on Facebook to write her a letter, but stepmom had blocked her. Stepmom had blocked her everywhere. It's been 4 days and my mom is still so mad. I am a little concerned that my mom is going to use my wedding to talk to my stepmom about it. I don't really want the drama. I asked my stepmom to contact my mom to help calm her down, but my stepmom just started laughing. I'm so frustrated because 1, I don't want this sort of drama. I don't know why now, after 14 years, my stepmom has to start acting this way. I don't understand why she won't just talk to my mom or open up the channels. My mom is just an emotional person. She really does try her best as a mom though. 2, I really could use some help with planning my wedding. My mom would help, but as I said, she doesn't really have time. My stepmom is way better at planning things and keeping organized. It's not like my stepmom would have to talk to my mom to help me plan it. It makes me feel like she doesn't actually care about me and that she would just cut me off. 3, I really want to know what happened between my stepmom and mom. I know they say it isn't my business, but it sure feels like it is my business and their actions are affecting me. And 4, how do I keep this from blowing up at my wedding? I almost feel like telling my stepmom that she shouldn't come if she won't help me calm down my mom first. I don't want my wedding date ruined by my mom being so hurt. But I also really need the financial support that my stepmom and dad are giving me and don't want to jeopardize that. What should I do? Okay, OP, here's the first thing I think you need to do. Open your eyes! The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You keep saying that your mom tried the best to be a mom, but she never came through for you. All she did was give you drama, and I'm guessing that's the main reason why your stepmom doesn't want anything to do with her. I mean, you kept saying that she tried her hardest. However, instead of actually taking the time to cook you guys a meal, she has time to take you to a restaurant, wait for an order, eat out, and then go back home? I'm sorry, I know that's just like a minor detail, but it just didn't make any sense to me. And also, she put you guys on hold because your stepdad is the one that needs more attention. And finally, when you did bring this up to your stepmom, she was all calm and collected and told you, like an adult, that she just doesn't want to deal with her. Your mom, on the other hand, she just flew off the rails in rage and crying, wanting to send letters and stuff like that. But you want your stepmom's help to contain your mom because you don't want drama at your wedding? I think, OP, that you're romanticizing the image that you have of your mom because of, I don't know why, maybe things she told you when you were little that she always tries but just life is too hard for her or something like that. Honestly, I would talk to your mom and tell her that if she's going to try to ruin your wedding by creating drama, then she shouldn't go. And ask your stepmom for help and tell her that she will not have to deal with your mom because you should control her. And that's about enough for me. I've gone long enough in my commentary. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. So Shiny So New says, your perspective here is really skewed. Your stepmom doesn't want to deal with your highly emotional and volatile mother, so you ask her to deal with your highly emotional and volatile mother on your behalf? And Opie responds, yeah, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound very smart at all. Population Tire says, quote, my mom got super upset and started crying and getting angry. She was saying that my stepmom is trying to ruin my wedding because she has always tried to control our lives just because she wanted power, end quote. If that's a typical response from your mom, it's telling you everything you need to know. From what you wrote, your stepmom never tried to badmouth your mom or get in the way of your relationship, which shows maturity. Your mother is demonstrating immaturity with that statement. There probably isn't one incident, just a general behavior from your mom that your stepmom understandably doesn't want to deal with. And Opie responds, it's a pretty extreme response even from my mom. My stepmom used to say, some people are just more emotional than others, so I never thought it bothered her before. I thought she just understood my mom was that way. Wandering Dev says, sounds to me like your mom is a manipulative drama queen that your stepmother was required to deal with when you were a child. Your mom probably made life hell for your stepmom, but your stepmom was kind enough to shelter you from the crazy. Now, she's under no obligation to communicate with your mom and she's choosing not to. I don't blame her. You don't need to know the details about why your stepmom doesn't like your mom, but your mom's reaction gives a pretty good indication. I would ask your stepmom if she'd be willing to work just with you on certain aspects of the wedding without your mom being involved. If not, I would respect her decision. And Opie responds, that's a good idea. I really could use the help. My stepmom is great at planning. Additional information from OP's comments. My mom is like my best friend. She's normally the one I talk to when I am emotionally upset. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I didn't think about it causing drama. I just thought my mom could cry with me. I understand now that I do probably have rose-colored glasses on with my mom. My mom had a really hard life. I know she tries hard, and she always has hugs and I love yous. She's not an evil person, but maybe she could have controlled more in her life. She grew up and her mom abandoned her. I feel like maybe she just doesn't know that she can control her life. My mom is pretty critical of my stepmom's choices sometimes. For a while, my sister and I knew that if we really wanted mom to do something, we'd have the best chance of it happening by telling her that stepmom was going to do it instead. Maybe that is what she is worried about. I don't think my mom was critical of my stepmom to her face though, but now I don't know. I was just wrapped up in what my mom had said. I was thinking maybe my stepmom has stopped my mom from doing birthday parties or something, but hearing from outside of this all, I don't think that was the case anymore. My mom could have thrown us parties, she just didn't. That's the obvious answer. Sometimes you just need people outside of your life to point out the obvious. Alright, well, it sounds like the community gave OP something to think about, and she's kind of halfway out of the fog. Or at least that's what I got from the context. So how about we move on to the update that occurred after the wedding to see how it all went down. I had posted originally when I was very frustrated about my stepmom saying she wouldn't help me with my wedding because of my mother. I was rightfully ripped into by quite a few people. I just reread what I had written, so much cringe. I did what many suggested and told my stepmom that I respected her boundaries and thanked her for always having supported me in my life. She seemed really touched. We had a good conversation and she admitted that she would like to help, but as some of you had guessed, she was sure that if my mom heard that she had helped with anything, my mom would become critical of it and would put me in an awkward spot. I told my mother that she needed to calm down and that even if stepmom didn't like her, they were adults and this is my day and I could really use some help making it special. Much to my surprise, she said she would love to help and had been waiting to plan a wedding her whole life. A little backstory. My mom and dad had married in a courthouse with no ceremony. My mom and stepdad aren't actually married. He's just been around for so long, we just call him stepdad. Well guys, turns out my mom is crazy. It started with her canceling the venue we had reserved. We wanted an outdoor wedding in a beautiful park near us and trying to book a destination wedding in Hawaii. What the F? Luckily, the refunded deposit didn't at all cover her desired location deposit, so she came and asked me to cover the rest. That was a huge blow up, but we got it sorted out. She had claimed that she wanted to surprise me with a dream wedding and that I deserved the best. I told her that an outdoor wedding with all of my friends that fit within my budget was my dream wedding. I still believed, at this point, she had been doing it to be kind. Boy, am I a sucker. Things slinked into Twilight Zone after that. She kept saying it was our wedding as mine and her wedding. I wanted a cupcake bar. She tried to change the order to a cake. She picked up the wrong supplies for our centerpieces. She would argue with all the vendors, and every time she did something, we had a massive fight ending with her crying and hysterical, saying I shouldn't be getting a wedding before she got her wedding, that my dad owed her a wedding. She would apologize profusely the next day and say she knows she was acting crazy, but that the wedding planning was just bringing up a lot of unresolved issues for her. She said she was going to counseling and getting her depression medication adjusted. I would feel bad and forgive her and the whole cycle would start again. After months of this, I thought we had finally reached an understanding that she could have a wedding, but she couldn't have my wedding. I was wrong. She bought a white sequined floor-length dress with a pillbox hat and with a veil to wear at the ceremony. When she sent me the picture, I honestly just went numb. I know I had told her that I would respect her wishes, but I didn't know who else to talk to, so I brought the picture over to my dad and stepmom's house. I showed it to my stepmom and then started bawling my eyes out. At first, I thought my stepmom was crying with me. She wasn't. She was laughing so hard she could hardly breathe. She called my dad in and he started laughing so hard that he couldn't stand up straight anymore. Long story short, both my stepmom and dad ended up helping me manage my mom during the wedding. They taught me how to put her on an information diet and require passwords at vendors. My dad ripped into her about it being her wedding. My stepmom had the great idea of telling my mom that the white would match her dress, and that would be good because it's popular for brides to now wear a dress in the wedding colors. My colors were teal and gold. My mom showed up in a teal dress, as did stepmom. Lol. I really didn't think it would work. The funniest thing was that they both ended up in almost identical dresses. I guess my mom had a minor meltdown over it, but I didn't see it. After seeing stepmom, she went over to my stepdad and demanded that he take her shopping right now. But stepdad was like, "The ceremony's going to start, we aren't leaving now." She stormed off and found a friend who she tried to trade dresses with, but the friend thought she was being silly and said that it was really cute how both of OP's moms were wearing matching outfits. My stepmom found out she was crying in the bathroom, so she went in there with one of my bridesmaids and said loudly enough for my mom to hear, "I wish I had worn a different dress, it's so similar to OP's mom, and everyone keeps telling me how much better she looks in it than I do. She really does wear it better." I guess that was enough to calm my mom down because she came out of the bathroom and was smiling and showing off her dress after that. My dad and stepmom ran interference for me with my mom all day on my wedding day. They said they were old pros at it and it was their wedding present to me. It turned out to be a beautiful day and I didn't hear about any of the drama until after the day. All in all, it was an eye-opening experience. I always knew my mom was emotional, I just hadn't realized how much she also manipulates things. I became a lot closer to my dad and stepmom, and I'm actually pretty low contact with my mother now. It has made me really reevaluate my childhood, and I feel like I've grown a lot. I mean, I believed everything my mom told me growing up. Why would she lie to me? And my dad and stepmom kept quiet about the drama, so I only ever heard one side of the story. I feel bad that it took me so long to see through it. I started going to counseling, which has helped tremendously to start unraveling all of the lies. It's been painful, but so liberating too. All of these things that didn't ever sit right with me, I now can see it was because I knew something was off, but I didn't know what. My dad and stepmom said they had hoped that maybe she would be saner to us kids than she was to them. They haven't told me a lot because they say that their relationship with her shouldn't change my relationship with her, but they did clear up some things. My mom always said that dad stole everything from her in the divorce, but he had come into the marriage with the house, cars, and investments. They had signed a prenup with an infidelity clause and my mom had cheated on my dad, leaving him for my stepdad. My dad had still paid her out quite a bit of money to help get her on her feet, but she didn't get a job and blew it on a huge vacation and a new car that she crashed while driving drunk. The fines ate up the last of the money. I remember her telling me that her car broke down and dad had towed it away saying he was going to fix it but never did. I remember being mad that my dad wouldn't help my mom out when he was really good with cars. I don't know all the stories, but I question a lot of the "I was mad at dad" memories. It's so weird to look back on your life and not even know what you don't know. I am questioning everything. I wish dad and stepmom would tell me more, but I understand that they want me to come to my own relationship with my mom too. She is crazy, I know that, but she was also the parent who would eat ice cream with me and stalk my exes online and talk trash about them with me when I was dumped. It's hard to explain. I really do feel like I wouldn't be talking to her at all now if dad and stepmom hadn't stepped in and helped me. I know my relationship with her has to change, and I see her differently now, but I don't hate her. And yeah, my stepmom has been one of her greatest allies in her and my relationship. I never realized that before. Thank you, Reddit, for being the first to start opening my eyes. Wow, teaching your kids to stalk your exes? Yeah, that's healthy behavior. Anyways, OP, your stepmom sounds like an awesome lady. She knew exactly how to handle your mom in every turn. I mean, it was beautiful, like if reverse psychology would just smack you upside the head or something. Anyways, sounds like everything went great in your wedding and you had a great time. So it's awesome that that went down and that you are in therapy to actually understand everything about your childhood. That should help you a lot, I think. So on that note, all the best in the future, OP. Thank you for sharing and take care. Now I know that usually we would now move on to a mood booster, but honestly, with the way stepmom handled mom in this story, I don't think it could get any better than that at this point. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.